Hello there, my sassy Sagittarius friends. Welcome to your weekly forecast for May 23rd through the 29th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video at a later time, even though I'm setting the intention for the next 7 days. You're going to find the video whenever it's time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Now, keep in mind that this is a general reading for the collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate. And that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't. As always, you may need a private reading. So without further ado, my dears and my darlings, let's get right on into it and see what messages are coming up here for the Sagittarius Collective. The first card coming up here for you all is the Nine of Wands. This also came up for Pisces. So if you have some of you may be dealing with a Pisces because it came up for them also. If you have Pisces placements, you might want to check out the Pisces reading for this week because this could be something that is really being emphasized for you. Now, the Nine of Wands comes up when, first and foremost, Spirit wants you to know how close you are to the finish line, because 10 is completion. And 9 is like you've come so far, you really don't want to throw in the towel right now. You really don't want to throw in the towel on what you've worked for. And so sometimes Nine of Wands comes up to say, protect what you have worked for. Nine of Wands also comes up sometimes when we're feeling a little defensive or a little bit unsure about who or what we want to let into our life. But there's a lot of symbolism here. And every single one of these wands belongs to somebody who came at this poor guy and tried to take him out. They tried to take him down. But every single time, he fought them off. He took away their little wand. He put it behind him as like a token of victory. He added it to his arsenal of tools. And he's still standing. So for me, the Nine of Wands comes up to say, yes, we need to be cautious. However, you have so much experience. There is absolutely, positively nothing new under the sun that anybody can come at you with. Nothing. Every dirty trick, every lie, every manipulation, you've seen it all. And so there's no there's no surprises. As long as you are allowing your experience to guide you and paying attention and staying alert, you're not going to make the wrong choice. You're not going to start dating and then get sucked up into a messy karmic 5-year entanglement, because you know what the warning signs are. And if you talk to somebody for a little bit, you're going to see those red flags and you're going to say, nope, no thank you, not giving this one any more time. You're not going to end up working for a shady boss or company. You're going to pick up on those cues when you go to the interview and when you see the place. You're going to say, it's not, something here is really fishy. No, thank you. Your experience will guide you. It's not being judgmental. So in the coming weeks, Sagittarius, pay attention when you're encountering people or you might have offers extended your way. Pay attention when you're talking to somebody or you're in a situation and you're like, you know what? This person is really reminding me of so-and-so. Or this situation is really reminding me of this other situation. That's your intuition talking to you. And that's your intuition's way of telling you, hey, if we continue with this, it's going to be a repeat of that other thing. This is just like that other thing. We already took that class. We already learned that lesson. We don't need to do this again. We don't need a repeat. We don't need a round two. We don't need a to be continued. So pay attention to that. That's your intuition guiding you and letting you know we've been here before, right? We don't need this again. So you may want to check out your moon signs and your rising signs this week, because I feel here with this Nine of Wands, something is coming to completion for you. And you're so close. You're so close. I feel also, because this moon is jumping out at me, and we recently, at the time that I'm recording this, we recently had a really massive uh eclipsed full moon in Scorpio, massive energy. And I feel like this is telling us, Sagittarius, that a lot of you are really, really in tune with the energy it's brought in. And the energy is going to be here for the next 6 months. So this makes me feel that in the next 6 months, a lot of you are going to accomplish some really big things. You're going to clear away a lot of really big things and a lot of really big energies. Your next card coming up here, my dears and my darlings, is the Nine of Swords. Do you see what I see? Tell me in the comments. Do you see what I see? We have repeating nines here. We have repeating nines here. And when I have a number that's repeating in my readings, that number is being emphasized. That number is being like, hey, pay attention, listen, right? It's an angel number message. And for those of you who don't know, 9 is an angel number that indicates a time of spiritual awakening. It's like, for example, the ninth major arcana card is the Hermit. So it's the number of like the teachers, the teachers, the gurus, right? So this is a time that a lot of you are finally learning the lessons that have escaped you. And some of you are even taking your experiences and you're stepping forward as a teacher or a guru to others. Now, you may do this in a metaphysical way where you get all super involved and embraced in like the whole crystals and chakras and incense and tarot cards, or you may do it in a different way. You may do it in a way where you feel more comfortable or is more true to yourself. And some of you have heard me say this before. Healers and spiritual teachers come in all areas of life. It's not always going to be somebody like me that's doing tarot cards or psychic readings. It can be a teacher. It can be a hairdresser. It can be a stay-at-home mother. It could be a bus driver. You're going to encounter and reach people in your daily life in whatever capacity that is. And you're leaving them better than they were when they found you. So a lot of you Sagittarius are stepping into this role of bringing about positive change and helping this positive domino effect of awakening, of encouragement, of guidance. Now, the Nine of Swords does tell us that we may be coming into a time of anxiety and fear. And as we have Mercury retrograde through Taurus right now, it is awakening in some people fears about stability and security. It is awakening in some people issues around authority figures, or competitiveness. And so some of you may be worried about your future. Some of you may be feeling like people are looking at you funny, or they're not taking you seriously, or they're judging you, or they have power over you, and you're just kind of stuck here until somebody removes their boot from your neck. But the Nine of Swords is telling us that a lot of this fear is unnecessary. And a lot of the things that are possible to go wrong, just because it's possible that it might go wrong, just because it's possible that it might go wrong, it doesn't mean that it's going to go wrong. So you might have to push through here. You may be discouraged. You may be wanting to give up. You may be wanting to throw in the towel. And you may be thinking, I've come to this part in the journey where now it's getting too hard. And here's all of the risks that are ahead of me. A lot of this is negative ego, because negative ego hates change, even when the change is positive. even when the change is good. So the louder and the meaner and the more discouraging the negative ego is, the closer you are to a massive breakthrough, the closer you are to a massive blessing. Negative ego and negative forces and negative entities and energies, they can't stop God or the universe from blessing you, but they can stop you from showing up for the blessing. Think about that. Now you have all of these obstacles in front of you. People don't believe in you. People are judging you. People are throwing your past in your face. Here's all the things that could go wrong. Here's all of the obstacles you might encounter. Okay, take a moment here. What are the obstacles I might encounter? How could I prepare myself? What are some steps that I can take that can possibly prevent these things from happening or could help me avoid these situations? That's the first layer of protection. Second layer of protection. All right, so I have a plan in place to keep these things from happening. Second layer of protection is, what is a good safety net? What is a good plan B in case these things happen anyway? If my first layer of protection fails, my second layer of protection, what is the backup plan? Third layer of protection. You take this up to God and you pray. And you say, God, here are all of the things I'm trying to do in my life right now. And here are all of the things I'm scared might go wrong. Here's everything that I'm doing in my power to keep this stuff from going wrong. If there's anything I'm missing, if there's anything else I have the power or control to implement, help me to see it. Help me to realize if there's anything else that I can do. And if it is in the best and highest good of all involved, I ask that you prevent these fears from happening. Please keep these things from happening. But if for some reason they must happen, because for some way it's for the greater good, or because there's some unavoidable lesson, if for some reason these things must happen, I ask that you help me get through them as quickly and as painlessly as possible. Direct me through it. And then you surrender it. Nine of Swords says, be prepared, do the best you possibly can, and surrender the outcome. Surrender the rest. I saw one time a meme that said, I'm trying to think exactly how it was worded. Okay, so it went, making a big life change is pretty scary, but know what's even scarier? Regret. And Sagittarius, some of you may have taken a really long time to break out of regret or things that you've kind of been mourning. And now is a clean slate. Now is a new beginning. Now is a time to move forward. This Nine of Wands is like people are trying to pressure you into something. And maybe they're blaming you. Maybe they're judging you. But if you give up on this at this point, there's going to be regrets. And you don't want to live a life of regret. Sure, it can be scary and it can be painful, but it's more painful to stay in that stuck energy. So all you can do is do your best and surrender the outcome and trust that all things are happening in a way that are going to be in the best and highest good. And keep moving forward. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles sometimes comes up for us when things are not happening as quickly as we would like, and we may begin to worry a little bit. And Seven of Pentacles is saying that this pause or this slow time is not a cause for concern. The worry is unnecessary. Things are happening behind the scenes that you can't see. There's growth happening beneath the surface. And before you know it, one day you're going to look and you're going to see the sprouts coming up out of the soil. The worry is unnecessary. But the Seven of Pentacles also tells us we need to leave room for nature to do its thing. Just like in the Nine of Swords, one of our layers of protection is to take it up in prayer and to ask for help. You need to leave room and space for spirit, for nature, for source to work its magic in your life. And if you're doing it by running around frantically and, constantly working the situation, we don't leave space for God. We don't leave space for spirit. And then we say, why can't I get any help? Where are my angels? Where are my guides? Sometimes we need to do our part and then pause and let the magic come in and work itself. When you plant a seed, you plant the seed and you water it. But there's a lot of magic that happens that you have no control over for those plants or those crops to grow. We need to let it happen without interfering. If you keep going and digging up that seed and planting it somewhere else because you think maybe somewhere else is going to be better, you're never going to let that seed take root. If you're like, it's not growing fast enough, I got to water it again, I got to go do this, I got to do that, you're going to drown it, you're going to kill it. You're not going to let the magic do its thing. So this is a time, Sagittarius, not to give up, but don't white knuckle. Don't overwork the situation. And take a pause and have faith and let God come in and do the magic that we can't do. I've given this example before. Like if I had you over to my place for dinner and you're like, oh, Amethyst, thanks for having me over. What can I do to help? And I'm at the stove and I'm mixing up something on the stove. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't get a chance to make the salad. Why don't you get the salad going? You go, you get all the stuff for the salad. You start chopping up stuff. And then I come and I push you out of the way and I start chopping up the salad because I want it to happen really fast. And you're like, oh, okay, all right, I guess, rude, okay, but whatever. I'll just go and do whatever she was doing at the stove. And then the second you go over to the stove, I go over there and I move out of the way and I'm going back and forth between the stove and the salad. You're like, hello, let me do something. Let me do something. Don't keep coming in and pushing me out of the way. Sometimes we do that to spirit. We do that to God. Because we're so worried about things not happening, or things not happening the way we think they should happen, or things not happening fast enough, that we have our hands in everything. So rest. Do your work and give yourself time to rest and see the magic that comes in. See the energy that comes in and flows through the situation and brings about growth. Your next card here is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is a beautiful card, a beautiful energy. The King of Wands is the self-made man. And I once read a description about the King of Wands that said this is the kind of energy, this is the kind of person, they weren't born into royalty. They saw struggles, they saw challenges, they came up with solutions, and the people said, we need you to lead the way. We need you to be our leader. So it's like a royalty or a king appointed by the people, because this is someone that is charismatic. This is someone that comes up with creative solutions. This is someone that can make something out of seemingly nothing. And this is your beautiful fire energy, Sagittarius. You're tapping into your fire energy. You're tapping into your power. You're creating change. You're creating opportunities where there seem to be none. King of Wands can also indicate that some of you are calling in a King of Wands energy into your life. And so the King of Wands is somebody who is very appreciative for what they have. They know what it is to go without. They're very philanthropic. And they have a soft spot in their heart for when they see people that remind them of how they used to be. And so they want to take you under their wing. They want to help you. They want to guide you. They want to show you the way. And some of you may be calling in a mentor in this way, someone who has walked the path you're walking, and they're going to help you. They're going to help you. They're going to show you. They're going to teach you the things they wish they knew when they were in your place. Some of you are stepping into that role as the King of Wands. And you're realizing, okay, here's the changes that need to happen. Other people aren't figuring it out. I'm going to create this new thing. I'm going to create what needs to be done right now that other people haven't figured out just yet. You might have an idea, in other words. You might have an idea that's going to bring about great change. You might have an idea of a business or a service that would greatly help your community. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going to get it going. I'm going to make it happen because nobody else is doing it. And by standing up and fulfilling that need, you are calling abundance into your life. There's that exchange. You are meeting a need by providing a much needed product or service, and you are receiving your abundance in exchange, or money in exchange to provide and to pay for your needs. So there might be fear and there might be worry, but this worry is unnecessary. Things may not happen overnight, but they're happening, they're moving, they're shifting, and you're coming into your power, and you're coming up with solutions. And a lot of you are embracing a more entrepreneur kind of energy. Some of you are deciding this 9 to 5 is not for me, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you're coming into more creative types of work, or work that you feel like you're making a difference, and that's giving you motivation. It's really hard to wake up and make ourselves do something day in and day out if there's no purpose to it, if there's no meaning to it. Like, why am I doing this? So some of you are embracing an entrepreneur kind of path. Some of you are embracing work that you feel like you can be of service, that you're a part of a bigger, greater thing, that you're making a positive change. I feel some of you may be feeling called to do something in terms of like first responder kinds of stuff. I'm not sure why. I can't really recall getting that feeling from the King of Wands before, but for some reason, I'm feeling like this heroic energy, like this heroic healer, but I feel like a lot of you are like getting ready to just go into the trenches here and bring about positive change. You may want to check out your moon, sun, and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget, guys, the May love readings are linked in the description. June love readings will be up soon. And every single day I do a daily message, so check that out if you feel so inclined. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous week ahead. Take care and be well, my dears.